Hi everyone, for today's cross-culture video, my teammates and I will be talking about the parental style's involvement and students' academic achievements. In the video, we'll be explaining how a parent's involvement can influence a child's academic performance. That my groupmates and I have chosen to talk about are Malaysia and Japan. There are 5 people in my group including myself. Lukman, who will be talking about the definition, Darshini, who will be talking about the parenting styles and academic performance in Malaysia, Anum, who will be talking about the parenting styles and academic performance in Japan, Jumor, who will be talking about the difference between the cross-cultural differences of parenting styles and academic performance in Malaysia and Japan in the perspective of psychology, and myself, Geraldine, who will be explaining the topic through psychological theory. So the importance of this topic is to understand the outcome as children are the future of their country, so their academic performance plays a very important role to build their self-confidence and self-esteem. The purpose of selecting this topic is to understand the cultural differences perspective on parenting styles and academic achievement.
In Japan, its healthy children performance is an important concern for parents. In Japan, parents play a significant role in children's daily life and education. Culture is generally defined as a set of attitude and behavior shared by a large group of people and communicated from one to the next by Matsumoto and Zhuang in 2008. Studies on parenting in Malaysia indicate that the dominant style among Malaysian parents was permissive parenting, while Chinese parents indicate practice authoritative parenting.
In Malaysia, permissive and authoritarian parenting styles are correlated with negative psychological and behavioral outcomes. Also, a strong correlation between academic achievement and authoritative parenting as compared to authoritarian and permissive parenting style.
In Japan, that parental involvement influences educational outcome through 3 mechanisms: modeling of school-related behavior and attitudes, reinforcing specific aspects of school learning and instruction. Also, researchers actively encourage parental involvement to increase academic performance. Academic research in Japan conclude that home-based parental involvement in children's education has positive impacts on school achievement.
Well, my other group members already spoke about the Malaysian and Japanese parenting style and academic achievement. Even though both countries practice collectivism, still there are few areas where these countries share different perspectives regarding parenting style and academic achievement. The differences are like in Malaysia, academic achievement is higher with authoritative parenting style than authoritarian and permissive. Whereas in Japan, parental involvement influences educational outcome through 3 mechanisms. Those are like modeling of school-related behaviors and attitude. The other differences we found in our research is, in Malaysia, permissive and authoritarian parenting style are correlated with negative psychological and behavioral outcomes, which leads to poor academic result. However, in Japan, parenting style believes learning from each other. Parents learn from children and children learn from parents.
I feel like it's important because when the parents are involved, they're able to keep track with their child's academic progress, and if whenever their child's lacking, they know when to step in and do something about it.
I think it's very good. The benefit is enable their parents to form a relationship with their teacher, because usually the parents won't have any interaction with the lecturer, so it gives a great opportunity to them.
I feel that parental involvement in children's education is important. So why? It's because it shows that the parents have care on their child's education.
How does a parental involvement benefits the education of the children is that they can actually lead to children's improvement in terms of their attendance and also their ability.
Parents can guide them during the process and identify their weak points and help them to get improvement during their learning process. Many of the parents in Malaysia are counted as strict parents, and then the disadvantage for strict parenting style is there will be communication problem between the strict parents and then the children. This is because strict parents may not accept what the children say, and and then this also will cause the children involved in bullying in the school or in the society to like something like reduce their anger at home and frustration at home.
Maybe it's important because at a very young age you might not know what you want to do, but in another way it could be also a stumbling block for the kids because they might have other things in mind compared to their parents. Though the parents will only want good for their kids, but then two minds don't think the same. One's a kid, one's an adult. So I believe it may be good, but then it might stop the kid from being creative. It might stop them from thinking outside the box.
So parents pressure the kids to perform academically well on their courses or their exams. It makes them to achieve their goal based on their parents' thing, I guess. I mean, like it only makes the parents happy, but it doesn't make the child to achieve what he wants in his life.
We are finally concluding our cultural documentary video by relating our cross-cultural topic to related psychological theory to explain the relationship between parenting styles and its effect on academic achievement or performance. Bomrian mentioned 3 types of parenting styles in his theory: authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive. Authoritative parent is a combination of demandingness and responsiveness. Authoritarian parenting styles, they are more demanding and unresponsive. And with permissive parenting styles, they give children a high level of freedom and they do not restrain their behaviors unless physical harm is in their way. So according to Abba, Carter and Winsler, it showed that authoritative parenting styles is associated with high levels of academic performance and study skills. Now, as mentioned earlier in the video, in Malaysia, there's also a strong correlation between academic achievements and authoritative parenting styles.